Wait, Janine, before you go. Janine.
Yeah?
Before you go.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Today is Friday the 13th.
Spooky.
So that's super spooky. And we wanted to let you know that we're having a sale on our website, which is shinybritedoggo.com, where t-shirts are 13% off.
Wow.
And pins are $13.13.
No way.
And that is today only. So today, Friday the 13th, October 13th, which is a Friday, which makes it what, Laura?
Friday the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th. We are having, I think this has been the only sale we've ever had on our website, which is shinybritedoggo.com.
Wow.
And this is definitely the lowest price our t-shirts have ever been.
Yeah, it's true. So if you haven't grabbed your gear yet, make sure to head over to shinybritedoggo.com. But Janine, I think you got to get out of the car because I'm heading to an estate sale. And you're not coming. Sorry, I'm bringing the crew. I'm bringing the pumpkin patrol, but
I'm not coming.
No, you wanted to sleep in, remember?
Oh yeah, I'm sleeping right now. So
yeah.
So head on over to shinybritedoggo.com to get a one-day only sale event.
This is the last day of a 3-day long estate sale. I went to the sale because I saw in the listings there was some older stuff. Now I don't expect to find anything that was in the listings. There was like a bull mold or two, but I'm not expecting to find that because it is the last day. It also, in the listing, didn't have a lot of pictures, so when I walked into this basement that was just filled with stuff, I was pretty taken aback. It was not what I was expecting. I came across some books that I took a look at, but this basement was pretty mildewy smelling. It definitely had a scent, and I didn't know that it was going to be so, like, dusty. Otherwise, I would have brought in a mask. If you see Janine and I wearing masks at sales, it's usually for our allergies. This was a sale where I would have benefited from that. But as I went around the basement, there was like a finished room and there was a lot of older pieces in here. You could definitely tell that a lot of stuff was from the mid-century. I took a look inside this crib, really not sure what to expect, and I came across this little doll that I thought was interesting and didn't really find too much here. There was a lot of clothing and shoes, like vintage shoes, that I thought were pretty neat, but they weren't my size and they were pretty worn in. Also, a lot of the clothing was stored in the basement, so I was really weary of the scent. I know you can wash, you know, clothes out and such, but sometimes it just like sticks with it for a while, so I wasn't gonna pick it up if I wasn't too sure. But it definitely was fun to look at and appreciate some of the clothing. Like this dress was like straight from 1985. Look at that satin green bow on the front. I thought that was really cool. And you know, Janine and I have come across a lot of vintage clothing. We don't really pick it up too much, but it's really fun to look at and pretty desirable in our area. Now I did come across some head vases. They were marked $35 each. The prices here were a little high, I thought, considering the condition. Like that one had a little chipped eyelash, but this one was in decent condition. I just didn't know too much about these in particular. I thought $35 was a little steep to resell, and it's not something I collect myself, so I left it behind for somebody else. So I continued looking and I saw this really cool pencil sharpener. It might not be that old, but I thought it was fun to look at. But there's a lot of really nice artwork and pieces hanging on the wall that I thought was cool, and again, a lot of clothes. But I do wonder if the smell sort of put some people off to picking up more, or maybe the prices. The prices were a bit high. This high chair was so cute. Look at that pattern. It reminded me of Holly Hobby. You did see those pumpkins right there, and I may or may not have grabbed a pumpkin or two. You guys are gonna have to stick around and see. I didn't film the second I got into the home because it was very packed. I had to see what was going on at first. Like this little corner was just filled with glassware, and it looked like people had gone through it, and glassware, you know, isn't very desirable, so I didn't bother to look through. I did come across this little pile of games, which I thought was fun. Like I've never seen a Smurfs game, and they had the Sesame Street board game as well. Really interesting things to look at. This was the main basement that I was looking through. I did not know it was going to be such a digger sale. If I had known, I might have grabbed a mask and some gloves and spent some more time in here digging. I did do a little bit of digging though. So I went through this one box and came across this little, I guess, assortment of keys and doodads. When I come across these paper bags, a lot of people keep like buttons and sewing materials. That wallet was definitely growing some mold on it. It felt a little weird, so I packed that up and continued along. But there were a lot of books in the basement, and I wish they weren't just in the basement because they definitely probably have a scent to them. So I continued to dig a little bit. Had I brought my gloves again, I would have like really dug. But I came across this cute little box, and it looked like some sewing material, so I pulled it out just to see what was in it. And yeah, it was just some hair products and some, you know, sewing things. And then my eye caught this Christmas family catalog from 1971 to 72. And if you know me, I was like, this is interesting. I picked it up really just to take a look at it. I have come across magazines from the 50s and 60s that have like a few pages and like a mini catalog inside for Christmas things, but this was like a Christmas specific catalog. I just thought it was so cool. If you guys find any of these things familiar from your childhood, let me know in the comments. I just was like, this page screams 1972. I don't think I've ever seen anything more 1972 in my life, but I thought this was so cool. I didn't pick it up because I would have kept it. I probably wouldn't have resold it, but I have so many of them, so I just thought it would be nice to sort of capture it on footage for you guys. We could just take a look at it as is, and because of the smell, leave it behind. But how cool was that? That was maybe one of the most fun finds I came across. But yeah, I came across that little ceramic piece, which I thought was nice, and the basement was just sort of a wreck. A lot of it really was clothing that was like stored in these cardboard boxes. I didn't even bother to look at those. Instead, I took a look at a pile of books on the floor, and where did the baby go really intrigued me. I was like, where did the baby go? What kind of book is this? So I had to flip through it and find out. Turns out the baby was her all along. She grew up and turned into a little girl. Isn't that beautiful? So there's the mystery to where did the baby go. I continued to look through, and I just love these older Sesame Street books. They are so cute. I love the artwork. They are so amazing. Count's poem is so fun with the illustrations, but I didn't end up picking any of these up. I do wonder if there was more vintage holiday stuff on the first day. I came across this little box of mostly just fake florals, more modern stuff. But in the pictures of the sale, there was like a little tabletop blow mold Santa the first day. So who knows? And who knows if I had dug more, if I would have found anything more interesting. I did come across this little like pillow plush. So cute. I've seen these before. I saw this at another estate sale, maybe like a bunny version, but I thought he was cool. So I just continued digging, and not really finding too much. You know, there's just like your run-of-the-mill stuff besides these little banners, which interesting. But yeah, I continued to just look and came across some more books. I was hoping to find some spooky books, because I was coming across these like Nancy Drew books. I came across one more holiday box, but it was filled with some like newer ornament picks. When they're attached to the wooden picks, I usually don't pick them up. They're usually meant for floral arrangements and a bit more modern. But I moved this box, guys, and what I found underneath it blew me away. Do you guys know what this is? I couldn't believe it. I had an inkling to what it was. I wasn't entirely sure, but you're going to have to stick around, guys, to see what this is. If it looks familiar, it's because it's written by Charles Addams, and I think I found something really great. At the time, I wasn't too sure, but I just knew that I had to pick this book up regardless of the price. They were like strictly cash only, and a lot of these estate sales nowadays, like as of late, you can use Venmo or PayPal, and also like I said, we were just going in to see what they have. I wasn't really too concerned about picking up a whole bag, even though I bought in like 2 bags. So thank God I had a 10 on me that I was going to use to play the lotto tonight, because she charged me. She wanted to do 4 apiece for the pumpkin guys, and then, which I don't think you guys have even seen. I didn't even show you guys yet. And I was like, well, I have a 10. You want to do 10 for the book as well? And she was like, sure. Guys, this book I think is a good find. I don't know yet, but my guess is that that's like a book that the Addams family is based on. I was a huge Addams family kid. Like, I know they had the Cartoon Network. Was it Cartoon Network? I don't know. They had like the cartoon special on in the 90s, and I was like a really big fan of that. I was young, but I really liked that. But beyond that, I've never seen any of the other like Addams family stuff. So I have no idea. Like, I thought it was just a TV show, but that looks like a book of the Addams family. So I think that's a fun find. I'm excited to like look it up on eBay. I haven't done that yet. I just took it. But yeah, that estate sale, I was like, if I hadn't found that book, I might have even put back the ceramics. Here, let me show you guys. They had some good stuff yesterday, and this was like the few ceramics that were left. I wasn't expecting to find anything that was in the pictures, but I thought that the stuff looked older, so I thought it'd be fun to just go in and see. And there were like 2 different pumpkin ceramics left. These are a little bit newer than, there was like a planter from like the 60s. That was obviously gone, but this is like a little Taiwan piece probably, or even a hobbyist piece. I'm not sure, maybe like 80s, and you could put a candle in the back. I thought it was really cute and a job well done on the paint. So I grabbed this. And I grabbed this little guy, which we actually have in our collection. He's so cute. I'm trying to like cover my face so you guys can see. Little ghosty, little pumpkin. He is made in Taiwan. So this is definitely like 80s. So yeah, I had those 2 in my bag and I was like, I'm not even gonna pick them up because like they were, like when I went in, the woman was like, I'm not gonna do a deal or discount anything. She wasn't saying this to me. I think she was talking to one of her like coworkers or somebody in the company. She was like, I'm not going to discount anything under $45, even though it's the last day. I guess another customer had come in and tried to like make a deal, and there was that to do. So I was very weary of the prices. I was like, if I'm going to be charged like $10 a piece on those, like I don't want them. So I was about to put them back, but then I found that book. And I was like, I need this book. I'll pay $10 for this book. I think it's a really cool book. So yeah, I ended up I was like, if, you know how when you go to estate sales, sometimes they like charge more if you have less, and they'd rather give you a deal if you have more. So I was just like, let me bring it all up and see. And yeah, $10 for all 3 pieces. I think is a fantastic deal. I'm so excited to like look at that book, show Janine. In the next part of today's video, I'm gonna take you guys along to another estate sale that I went to solo. I went to this estate sale because it was being run by a company that I really, really like. It's one of my favorite estate sale companies. I'm really bad at remembering like the names of the companies and like which ones I like for the most part, but this one I really like. I think her prices are like fantastic. So even if the listing doesn't look like it's filled with stuff that I'm interested in, if there's like a little glimpse of something that might be older, I will usually go. And she does I like the system where she has people email her like a week before for numbers. So there's no like anxiety and like the rush and like the competition of like who's gonna get the first number and start the list, which is nice. So I really enjoy her sales, and I'm gonna take you along to this sale. There's not a lot of filming because when I went in there, I really didn't find much until I found a lot of something. And then once I found that, I stopped filming and I just started finding the pieces that I wanted of the same thing. You'll see when we see the footage, it'll make more sense, but I figured it'd be boring. I'd rather show you guys what I got. Hi, Janine.
Hello.
Okay, here you go. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. What could this be? Wow.
Do you know what that is? Do you know?
Addams Family.
Yeah.
What year is this?
1954. It's the first edition.
Oh, that's incredible. I like don't want to touch it.
Good condition, no rips and tears, with the dust cover. This is like an $80 to a $100 book. It is the first edition, which makes it that valuable. And it's Home Buddies by Charles Addams. Now this one does have a tear right in the front, which will decrease the value a bit, but there have been some sold comps for these in like poor or worse condition than this one that's sold for like $60 to $80. So I think to a collector who doesn't mind a few imperfections, this could be like a $50 to $70 book. But that's not what's so exciting about it, the value, because we're going to keep this in the collection. What's exciting to us is that this is one of the books, many books, that Charles Addams wrote and illustrated, who is essentially, I guess, the creator of the Addams family. He was a cartoonist for the New Yorker, and there are a few books that predate this one that feature these characters. This one's from 1954, and I just couldn't believe that I found it in that basement.
Incredible. I really am like so shocked and surprised that you found such an awesome book.
Thank you. I was a big Addams Family kid. Like, I watched it all the time, but I didn't know the history of it, honestly. And what a cool find. We're definitely going to keep this. It's got some great illustrations. It does smell a bit. I know I was saying that basement was like pretty dusty and sort of mildewy smelling, so this does have a scent to it, but having been stored in a basement for as long as it was, this is in really, really good condition, I think. From the little bit of research I did, I think his first book that features these characters was published in 1942, which is actually pretty incredible in itself that these books, I don't know, I didn't know the history of the Addams Family, so this was a really cool find to just learn something new about the Addams Family and to find such an incredible piece.
And Charles Addams is a New Jersey native and tells a little bit about him on the back of the book.
He was born in Westfield, New Jersey, which is just a trip away. And Janine, did you say that the house is in Jersey?
I did see an article online that said there are some homes in Westfield, New Jersey that are supposedly maybe where Charles Addams got some of his inspiration for the Addams Family home. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And Westfield, New Jersey is also where the Watcher house is. So maybe we should do a spooky trip over there, Janine.
That would be
fun. So this was a fantastic find. Cannot believe it. Staying in the collection for sure. But I'm going to show you guys those cards that I was just talking about. All right, guys, we've got a whole trunk literally full of greeting cards. Like I said, I didn't film too much because all of these were actually mixed in with new cards, like from literally today in the 90s and the 2000s. So it was quite a digging game and I needed both hands, but I think it's more exciting to see what was in the home. Like there were bins and bins of greeting cards. So I spent like an hour literally just looking through all that and there was nothing else, but I'm happy I walked away with these. I think I paid like $15 for all of them, which is a fantastic price. What do you think, Janine? Quite a few?
Oh yeah. I mean, we should have been counting as we were placing these out.
And we didn't even get to place all of them. We still probably have about 20 or so that just didn't fit in the trunk. These are mostly birthday cards. There is some Christmas and Easter dispersed throughout, but these are greeting cards from the 50s and the 60s. They are pretty collectible. I actually collect them, mostly Christmas and dog ones, but we've got a really nice mix of like really cute dogs and animals, and there is some Christmas in here. I think maybe one of the best ones in the mix is this Norcrest Yarn Girl. These little Norcrest characters, they actually made ceramic figures of. So they're quite collectible when you come across them, whether it's a card or a ceramic. The ceramics sell for over $100, but these cards can bring like $20 to $30 depending on what they are. They are so fun. I love her. She's so cute. But yeah, I can't believe, Janine, how many I picked up.
It's incredible. And they're all very cute. Like they're really cute cards. Some of the details on these are incredible as well. Like this bunny, they have like little bead noses. Some of the cards are flocked as well. Like the animals themselves will be flocked.
I even found some vintage Peanuts cards, which I love to find because these are pretty collectible in themselves just because Peanuts has such a large following. And when you're looking at greeting cards, you know, you're always going to look for a barcode on the back. If they're made in USA, they're definitely older. If they don't have a barcode, they're probably from the early to mid 70s and earlier. So we've got Snoopy and we've got Charlie Brown himself. Just some really fun ones and even some envelopes to them. And Sally. I did want to specifically show you guys this. I've never come across a Santagram, a vintage Santagram. This is so amazing, guys. I love the Santa up top with the little elves.
Yeah, those definitely look like a ceramic pixie, don't they?
It says, it actually was sent to Westfield, New Jersey, which is interesting. It has all the names, and then it says, Christmas is coming very near. Santa Claus will soon appear, so please be good, and you will see he will leave something under your tree from Santa Claus. And what's really nice about this is that it's dated on the back, December of 1962, so we know exactly how old this is. And this will definitely stay in the collection. I love this. I think it's so fun and different. Piece of ephemera to come by that's vintage Christmas. But yeah, I can't believe how many cards I picked up. Definitely can't keep them all, so we will be doing a card sale probably in the new year. If you're into vintage ephemera, definitely make sure you're following us on Whatnot if you're not already, because this will be a sale. I think I actually might have made it already, Janine, just like to have it there.
Oh my goodness.
And we promise it won't be 5 hours long like our other Christmas card sale from last year. But it was so much fun to pick these up, and I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a different sale where we went into some estate sales and found a few pieces that were really fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.